on the workbench tonight. I have an NAD 517 CD changer, and I don't know if there's anything wrong with this or what the problem is. It came to me with all the screws loose, which tells me someone's been into it, and I know someone has. So I've just pulled the top off it, and we're going to check it out. I've got a disc sitting in position number 2. I'm going to see whether it'll actually detect any discs and whether it'll play anything here. Well, that part appears to work. We're going to let this thing test and see whether there's a fault with this unit or not. So it appears it's playing, but if I just ever so slightly touch it, it skips. Seems to be a little sensitive as far as mechanical shock. Let's take a look underneath the disc table here and see whether there's I guess I better stop it before I do that. We'll take a look underneath the disc table here and just see if there's anything obvious like dust on the lens. So we'll just pop out the screw and lift off the top of the disc clamp. That way I can get a look at the laser lens here and see if there's any dust accumulating on it. Which it looks like from this angle that it actually is quite dusty. Let's just see whether I can clean it off with a cotton swab. Place the disc clamp back on, and we'll just try it again and see if that has made any difference. I would say that that has made quite a difference. So I'm going to let this thing play and make sure it's not going to skip. I think maybe we just had a contaminated lens, and just to clean the surface off there, and it's not skipping. So there you have it. So far so good. I'm going to let this continue to play here. Sometimes, you know, you'll get the simplest things will cause a failure, so don't overlook the simplest. Sometimes all it takes is just a little bit of dust or a film to form on the laser pickup itself, and that's all it takes to cause a misreading problem. And some people would go and replace the entire optical block when it's not required. And I don't know what happened with this before. I know it was at another shop, the same shop that had the preamp, and whether they did anything on this or not, the screws on the back were not tight. They were only screwed in about halfway, like someone put it together in a hurry and maybe said, hey, the laser shot on this, not worth fixing, and got it out of the shop. So I'm going to let this thing test run, and if it plays multiple discs without failure, then I'm going to send this one off and we'll see what happens. So far, so good, no skipping. Let's say sometimes it's easy to overlook the simplest things. So if you got a CD player that's skipping, before condemning the laser, make sure that the optics are clean, because quite often that's all it takes. If the unit is used in an environment where someone's smoking any type of material, cigarettes or anything stronger, the smoke will have a film that will adhere to the surface of the lens and can cloud it. Now, of course, a smoky environment is not good for optical pickups because not only will it cloud the top surface of the lens, but it'll actually get inside and cloud the internal optics. If the internal optics get clouded, you've got a problem. You've got to change the pickup. But sometimes the top surface will get contaminated with dust, especially in a smoky environment. Dust will stick to the surface and will obscure the laser. Sometimes that's all it takes. But anyway, I'm going to let this thing play. It's got to track 5 so far, so good. And hopefully this is going to be good and I'm going to be able to send this one on its way. Thanks for watching.